Start this commission, and if you remember, it's for a couple in Baltimore, and they want it for their bedroom, and their bedroom is painted a very, very, very pale olive green, and they want something that's going to go well with that. They ask for mainly greens and maybe a little bit of purple. So that's what I'm going to do. I painted the background. I painted the canvas first with this rose color so it would complement the greens. Very little of this is going to show. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to start with my mark making like I always start with. And I'm going to show you these brushes that I have. I found these at Jerry's Artarama. They're very long, and they're called Jewel Plein Air. I don't know if you can see that or not. And this is the widest they come. I wish that there would be, no, there is one, this one might be wider, and it is. I'm going to use the wide one. But this is as wide as they come right here. I wish they would do like a 2 or 3 inch. And then I'm going to use a small round one. And I'm going to start my mark making with that. And I'm going to start with white as opposed to black, because black isn't going to show that much on here. But I am going to put some black on it as well. So here we go. And I'm going to stand back. I'm not going to I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just going to put some lines in. And I want some of my lines to be wide. And I'm glad that it's running. That's what I want. Now just put that line in the middle. Can you see that? So that's going to have to be moved over to here, because I don't want anything to start or end in the middle. And where I see a lot of thick paint, I'm going to try to use it, because if I don't, it's going to take forever for it to dry. I just picked up some black, and that's fine too. Now I'm going to put some black into it. Where it hits the gray, of course, where it hits the white, of course it's going to turn gray, which is fine. I'm not thinking, I'm just putting down lines. use up all this paint that I mixed up. Oops, I'm getting too close, standing too close to it. Can you see where this line is almost the same as that line? So one of them is going to have to get covered up. That's better. Okay. Now I want to do the small one. Since most of these lines are the same width, I have to have some smaller lines as well. If all of your lines are the same width, it's not going to be nearly as interesting. Can you see how just that little line there made a big difference? I'm sure you can't, not in the small screen. That's about as much paint as I can use. Looks pretty good. I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to go into it with some other marking materials. We're going to let this dry right now. I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to go back into it with some other marking materials, and then we'll start painting. So I'll see you in just a couple minutes. Okay, this is 99% dry, so I'm going to go into it with some other types of materials, and I'll tell you what I'm using, okay? And this is an intense block. It's made by Derwent. It's water soluble. And it comes in many, many different colors, and you can use it wet or dry. I just happen to put it into my water. To get it, I think you can see that on there. There, you can see it running. That's great. It is water soluble. I just dropped it and I don't see where. This is not permanent. If I wanted it to be permanent, I would have to seal it. That was an intense block. And then I have the intense also comes in pencils. And that's what they look like. It's water soluble again, and you can use it either wet or dry. But that will give me a smaller line. I'm sure you cannot see that. Also going to use some markers. I just went into wet paint and I may have ruined this marker. No, I think I got it okay now. Olive green marker. Oh, that makes a nice line on here. I use a lot of different things, and this is charcoal. And I'm going to smear that charcoal a little bit. Now I'm going to put a couple large areas in with paint. I'm going to use a large brush. You can see the size brush I'm using. It's a Liquitex brush. It's 4 inches. I'm going to just do a little bit of dry brushing right there. It's picking up that charcoal. Now I'm not thinking, I'm just putting it down. That's a nice large shape. Now I'm going to put a medium-sized shape down. I'll put a smaller shape. In fact, I think I'm going to have a couple small shapes. You can see if you just barely touch your brush onto the surface, you get nice texture. Make this just a little bit bigger. I'm going to make a small, another medium-sized shape. I think I'm going to put it right in through here. And I'm going to let it touch the edge. Since I did those lines like that, I'm going to have to do it somewhere else. Maybe here. I don't want them the same length, even though they're probably going to get covered up anyway. Okay, I am done with my mark making. Now I'm going to let this dry. Why don't I take skewer over that wet paint? Okay. I'm just playing. Alright, now I'm going to let that be. I think you can see just about my entire painting. I'm going to go Okay, this is where it stops here, and there's about 1 inch above it. That's it. So I'm going to let this dry, and the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to mix up my palette, and I will show you how I do that as well. So that's it for now.
You can see the white, the light gray, the darker gray, and the black. So what you want to do is mix up 4 values from white to black. And then my next color is Matisse green. Then I mixed, the next pile is mixed with the white. The next is mixed with the light gray, the medium gray, and the black. And then over here is a light purple by Nova, mixed with white, mixed with light gray, mixed with the darker gray, and mixed with black. And then the 4th line is the green and the purple mixed together. So my first pile is Matisse green mixed with purple. My next pile is the light green mixed with the light purple for the light green. And then my next pile, which is hard to see, but there it is mixed with the with the medium green with the medium purple. The next pile is the dark green mixed with the dark purple. And then the last one is black. These colors in the book. You can see my white, light gray, dark gray, and black. Then we go to the Matisse emerald green with white, with light gray, darker gray, and black. Then we have purple with white, light gray, medium gray, and black. And then we have the combination of the green and purple in this last line. And that first color is the pure color with white, with light gray, medium gray, and black. So you can see I have a nice variety of color, and they're all going to harmonize together because that last row is going to give them the harmony because it's got both colors in it and they both have white and black in it. Now your darker ones you can't really tell in the painting or on the screen, but you can see the green cast, the purple cast, and the combination. They're not as dark or as black as what that is. So that's what I do.